Hey, Capricorn, Mel, intuitive coach here. Excited to bring in your January 2025 career and money reading. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Capricorn, welcome and happy birthday to those of you sun sign Caps out there. Now, I'm getting a song here. One More Silver Dollar. I believe that is by the Allman Brothers, and the song is Midnight Rider. So midnight is interesting because it's 12, and I put these readings out a bit early. So December is the start of Capricorn season. So I feel like December into January is a significant time for you regarding career, finances, really taking a good look at where you're at because there's some changes brewing. One More Silver Dollar. So I believe in that song. I don't recall all of the lyrics, but I feel like there's something about chasing, like they're trying to chase me, but they're not gonna to find me, or they're not gonna catch me. Something about catching. So perhaps there is, an offer. This is your first card out, is an offering. And there's a silver coin. Might not be that silver dollar. Actually, there are some silver dollars out there that are coins, but I feel like you are asking. You're asking for assistance here. There is an offering coming in, but I feel like there's been a deadline. It feels like you've been crunched for a deadline or crunched for money. Finances may have fell short in some way, but I actually see a relief. I see an ending bringing in a new beginning here. There's a new offer coming your way, and you have the 10 of Swords crossing your path. I feel like you've been on this path for quite some time because you also have the butterfly and the rose. So this reminds me of the Six of Pentacles. The rose does. It's financial relief, being content, being in a loving, supportive, caring role. This is job security as well as growth. And I feel like that's what's changing. If you do not feel like you are having success with the rose, okay, if you don't feel like there is some sort of relief, if you don't love what you do, if you're not supported, if you don't have that security, or there's not growth potential, that's what's changing for you with the butterfly. And it could be sudden as well. I feel like there could be a sudden shift for you. And this sudden shift is actually a good thing because it's going to bring more creativity, more flow into your work, more art, more movement. Pay attention to your spending. All right, pay attention to your spending. And here's the silver dollar, Ace of Pentacles. So I am getting the Ace of Pentacles with that silver dollar, and then the Chariot as well, Midnight Rider. So there's something about taking off, like taking off after, after midnight. So after December, feels like there's going to be some sort of shift. And that 12, it keeps coming up in my mind's eye. 12. Some of you could be seeing on the clock. Maybe the 12th of the month is significant for you. The 12 also in tarot is the Hanged Man. So if you felt like you were put on pause, or there was a hang up, or there was some sort of delay, I do see you gaining a new perspective. Yeah, there's a new perspective, and there's a lot of abundance coming in here for you. What's coming in above you is the Empress. So I feel like this is what you've been waiting for, Capricorn, the birthing of a new cycle. This is a very creative time for you in your career. It is a very fertile time for you as well, where whatever you are working on has the potential to multiply. There's the Tower. There's the change, but not all towers are bad. Not all towers are bad. We may fear them in the moment because change can be a shock, right? We're living our lives one day, and then the next minute, everything could change on a dime, but we don't know in that instant that it's for the better, because sometimes towers can be a shock to the system in a challenging way, but I actually feel with the Empress above you, this is a tower that's for the better. And that's what I was getting here, a sudden change that actually does bring you financial relief. You have the Five of Pentacles in reverse in your environment. You're recovering from some sort of loss or some sort of, instability. So again, recovery, financial relief, that's coming in here for you. I see that you're hoping for a new opportunity. You're hoping to manifest this relief or support in some way. Spirit, what's the final outcome, please, for Capricorn in the month of January? What do we have for Capricorn? All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. King of Cups is someone who has calm clarity, calm discernment. He is controlled, his emotional state is very controlled, as in he doesn't let his emotions dictate or get the best of him. He keeps them within confinement, if you will, like a mature sense of confinement. And he's also very compassionate. So this tells me that you could be a healer of some sort. You could help people out. You may even help people work through their emotional maybe outburst, okay? Because you have experience in that category. You may have dealt with people growing up that may have even had, mental health issues. Perhaps you yourself had struggled at times with your own emotions, and how to kind of rein them in is what I'm getting, and not let your emotions get the best of you. That's what I'm seeing here. Now, King of Cups is someone who's very loving, very supportive, very emotionally intelligent, someone who sometimes can be distant until that level of trust is built. And I feel like this King of Cups is you. Okay, I feel like this is you. And this is a level of maturity. It almost feels like a new level of maturation in your career or in your financial sector. Maybe something has reached full peak and you're ready to, cash out in some way. Maybe you're ready to retire. You could be getting ready for a divine blessing. Right behind it, you actually have the 10 of Cups and the Sun. Now, these are things that you don't see yet, but things that are showing up for you in 2025. And I feel like, the Kings are all about action and reaching the highest level, right? So this is your energy of really learning some valuable lessons in your career and being able to help and teach and be of service in a very profound way. So we have the butterfly. There's some changes coming in with the tower. It's short term. The tower is short term, but it has long term lasting effects. Okay. So maybe the anxiety, which I really don't see tons of anxiety here in your reading. If anything, the 10 of Swords is saying this is going to happen quick. Okay, it's going to happen quick, but you're moving into a relief. So even if there is something that ends, I feel like it's followed up by a new beginning. Okay, this is quite significant for you. Now, in the near future position, you have the cutlery. Capricorn, this is you having the tools. Maybe you need a little bit more money to retire or to buy a home or pay off debt, because on the cutlery, we're missing the spoon. And that's the one more silver dollar, right? It even looks like sometimes it could be like a silver spoon shape, but I feel like you're heading towards that. You're closer to that silver dollar than you think. This is possibly food related. Some of you, this has to do with the restaurant industry or business. For others of you, this is soul provider. You could be the breadwinner. You may be the one that has been wanting to maybe contribute to the other resources that are coming in into your household. But I feel like there's more coming in. There's more there's more where that came from. And I feel like that Midnight Rider is chasing that silver dollar. So there's something about you reaching that final piece, grabbing that final piece of the puzzle. And it's happening now for you, Capricorn. So you can feel the abundance and really make a difference with what it is that has been a blessing for you. So you can share that and grow it in 2025. So bottom of the deck, there's your cup. This is an overflowing prosperity. You know, this is, I feel that 10 of cups showing up at the bottom here. I'm just going to show you the 10 of cups is lasting happiness. It's success. It is divine blessings. And I just said that too. So if your bank account has been empty, I feel like there's going to be some sort of blessing or some sort of relief that graces your accounts. Okay. This is also about you taking care of business, taking care of your finances, taking a look at, you know, maybe debt consolidation or paying something off, or looking at, you know, your taxes, quarterlies, things of that nature. So administrative tasks is showing up here for you in the month of January. But the good news is this cup is fulfilled. So you are fulfilling here your spiritual and your emotional cup. And I feel like that's a blessing coming in for you. There's a big opportunity of abundance that you're going to be graced with. I love this. Starting off, you have the 6 of Cups. There could even be a reunion. There could be some sort of reunion happening here for you, a little bit of nostalgia. This is the inner child, and I feel like you are doing something that inspires you, something that's creative, something that's fun, something that feels like you are being of service and you're making a difference. Now, the 6 of Cups showing up as your main energy can be about a second chance. This is the card of second chances and leaving behind unhealthy past attachments when it comes to blockages in your career or your money. So you may be really reevaluating your prior year, right? And I feel like you're moving into 2025 with new offerings, better perspectives, and relief if you didn't have that in 2024. If that was a very difficult year for you, okay, or if you really struggled financially, or you struggled with maybe the new opportunities or the blessings that felt like that you were close, you were on the cusp, but you didn't physically see it, I feel like this is the year where everything comes together. Okay, this 6 of Cups is also reminding you not to buy affection or friendships, or not to let money be the dictator, okay? Because sometimes we get lost in that, you know, yearning, or the financial emotional piece can be attached. So maybe you are stuck and you have an emotional attachment to an old job that no longer serves you. It's not going to get you to that 10 of Cups. It just feels like there's something that you may be releasing with that 10 of Swords, releasing in order to get to that Empress, okay, into that 10. Now you have the 10 of Swords crossing your path. You've gone through some betrayal. You've gone through some deep wounds, and this is recovery. So not only do you have financial relief with the Rose card coming in, you have the 5 of Pentacles. So there's been either a health issue, the loss of a home or a job, even a demotion. Is that what it's called? Or you've been demoted in some way or reprimanded. I just feel like there's been a struggle when it comes to your financial sector, or money kind of going out more than it's coming in for you. This is all being wrapped up. There's something being wrapped up here for you, and you're still in that recovery process, Capricorn. But I actually feel like this is that change. This is the Tower coming in for you, and this is a blessing in disguise. It really is blessing in disguise, because what you don't see is the Empress right above you. So what's below you is the 3 of Pentacles. This is collaboration, following your dreams, and research. But it feels like it's been difficult for you to find the right people. It's been difficult for you to feel like you are a part of a team, because this is showing up in the reverse position is what I'm being told. And it feels like your dream has taken a lot of detours, okay? Taken a lot of detours. And it feels like there's one last detour in order for you to get that silver dollar. And we can pretend that's what he's holding there, okay? Because the 3 of Pentacles says that there's someone something being offered by someone, or, it could be an opportunity here, a business, an organization, a client, a financial institution. I feel like there's some piece yet that you are bringing together. And in the recent past, there are some opportunities that you'd missed out on. Okay, but I also feel like there were some divine gifts that had come out of those missed opportunities. Okay, and so when you look at it from that perspective, it's not really a miss. Okay, it feels like it was, but it wasn't. This Ace of Pentacles is that silver dollar. And maybe that dollar was fleeting. Perhaps that's why they were chasing, and they stole that dollar. I don't know who they is. Maybe it's a belief system. Maybe it's an organization. Maybe it's a person. It just feels like you were running for a reason, or you were riding, I should say. Maybe not running, but riding off into the midnight. But I feel like there's something significant shifting with the Empress. This is the card of abundance, creativity, and fertility. She's the most abundant energy in the entire deck. This is hovering above you, Capricorn. She's represented by the cow. The cow has so many multiple resources. I mean, look at everything that comes from the cow. She has resources everywhere, everywhere within her and around her. And I feel like you are taking those resources, you are accepting them, you are embracing them, and you're multiplying them. So whatever resources and abundance is coming in, I feel like that's going to change your world. That's going to change your world in a big way. Now we have the Six of Pentacles showing up in your near future. I always tease and say the GOAT, right? The greatest of all time. It feels like this could be the greatest of all time opportunity. This can be a just reward, generosity, and even establishing some boundaries. So there is a gift from the universe coming in. This is an unexpected resource. Maybe that's that tower. Maybe that's that change that brings in financial relief, and you were thinking the opposite, right? You were thinking that it was going to be a disaster, but it comes in and it's actually one of the most abundant things or offerings you could get. So trust in the rewards here, because they're landing right in your financial sector. How are you feeling? You're feeling like this is shocking, okay, with the snake. It is shocking, but it doesn't surprise you. Even though it's a shock, I feel like it doesn't surprise you. It's like you knew this was coming all along, but you were just waiting on the when. I feel like this is massive transformation, massive liberation for you here, Capricorn. This could be in the form of some sort of communication. You have the snake here. The snake is blue, throat chakra. So perhaps there's some sort of news that comes in, and it requires you shedding an old skin and really stepping into who you are meant to be. That's exactly what it is, stepping into who you are meant to be. It's like knowing that you are always going to shed that skin, because that's part of the process. That is something we just know, especially around snakes. We know that all snakes shed a skin. And I feel like there's that inner knowing, but you didn't know when that was going to happen. This is it. This is when it's happening. So whatever old concepts, beliefs, or ideals that you had gone through in the past, I feel like there's something new coming in that is offering recovery, because the pangolin here with the Five of Pentacles in reverse says you're coming out of like a dark night of the soul. You're coming out of loneliness or loss of some sort. And when that Five of Pentacles shows up, you have been humbled. You've been humbled along the way. You've kept your humility, and I feel like you've kept your authenticity as well. Even though at times you may have felt like you lost yourself in the process, what you actually gained was a more powerful, stronger, determined version of you, a truthful, authentic version of you along the way. So while being lost, you found everything that you needed. And I see that what your hopes and fears are, you have the Page of Pentacles. This is a quest for wisdom. This is about abundant harvest. It's conserving your energy. You see that the camel is there, and what do camels do? They store that water in their hump. So conserve your energy at this time because you're going to need it. This is a message. This is news. This is an opportunity. And this is something that is long term. The Page of Pentacles, he's hardworking. This is, you maybe even learning a new skill, or perhaps, staying loyal to you. There's a new path here, and you're reflecting on your commitments, and you're saying, what new path can I take that truly aligns with who I am and aligns with my own inner truth, my own authenticity? That's your hope and that's your fear. Now, the outcome for you, Capricorn, is the Page of Cups, the alligator. The Page of Cups is surprising insight. So that surprise is showing up, but it's a good surprise because it's going to allow you to come up for air. If you've been going through the dark night, right? If you have been submerged in the waters, right? If you've been submerged within your emotions, because we see that King of Cups as the bottom, bottom energy of the deck. He's someone who can control, his emotions. And even though the page is someone who's not quite there yet, you actually are. It feels like there's a surprising insight, but because you have the King of Cups, you're not naive. This isn't new as in a brand new path. It just feels like you are more in alignment with your heart than you ever have been before. And this is artistry. This is a beautiful time to express yourself because it's playfulness, it's vulnerability. It is you opening up to a new emotional, heartfelt offering that is coming in here for you. And I feel like this is a very favorable outcome. Some of you could even work with children, okay? You may have healed some inner child wounds with that Six of Cups because it feels like there's something around the child, the inner child, or a childhood dream even that you have wanted and have been working for quite some time, especially with the 12 energy showing up. Maybe some of you are born on 1-1-2 or 12 is significant in some way. Maybe some of you have 12 in your address or your phone number because that's coming up again. But I definitely feel like this is a surprising insight and it's exciting as well. So trust in the process. Trust that this cup, because remember that's showing up here at the bottom, this cup is going to be overflowing with that Empress energy. Resources coming out your ears. So it feels like you can't believe it. It almost feels like it's a shock factor. Like, is this real? Pinch me. And some of you may be questioning, is this a legit opportunity? Is this something that, is really a path that I could thrive in? And when you have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups coming together, this is long term, right? This is a new direction, a detour where, again, you're not starting from scratch because you are in that King of Cups energy, but I feel like it is a new emotional experience that you are heading towards. And this is going to offer you a little bit of that air bubble. Coming up for air, taking a fresh breath because you've been submerged for so long. Yeah, quest for abundance. Conserve your energy because there is an abundant harvest ahead. I don't feel like it's right away in the month of January, but I definitely feel like it's coming in here in 2025. I'm just going to get a timing card. Spirit, what's the timing for this abundant harvest? Springtime, thank you. You have the springtime card. Spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere, I believe, is the 20th of March. So March could be a really big month. March, April, and May, I believe, are the springtime months. Now, of course, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, and take a look at that energy here. But I do feel like, there is growth happening in an unusual place. You see that on this card, this is a piece of wood. This is like a 2x4, and there's a seed that's been planted in an unusual place. Like, how did it get there? But it's starting to grow. And it feels like you are growing in a spot that wasn't ideal, right? It's not ideal to grow in the middle of, a sidewalk or in the middle of a board, but that's what's coming in for you. You're actually growing in a spot that may be unusual, okay? Or it may feel like you've taken a different path, but this is prosperity. This is green. This is growth. There's your silver dollar. Beautiful. Let's get a message here from the wisdom of the oracle. What do we have here for Capricorn? Wisdom of the oracle, please. Mending, card 52. This is bringing things together. Some of you could even be 52 years old. 7 could be a big number. This is forgiveness, making amends, and healing, financially healing as well. Everyone makes mistakes, especially when you want something very badly. You may come to realize that in chasing after a pretty, shiny thing, you lost sight of long-term, sustainable prosperity. Sometimes you make choices that look good at first, but ultimately lead to loss or failure. It's time to forgive yourself and others. Don't blame anyone else. You get to start again, wiser and more mature. The journey to true abundance can be bumpy. Make amends to anyone you may have hurt along the way, especially yourself. Forgive those who may have taken advantage of you. Let go and learn from this. You are that much closer to achieving the kind of prosperity that really fulfills you. Nothing is ever lost or wasted when you view it from that perspective. Didn't we say that here earlier? There is something here about you seeing the challenges and the struggles that you've gone through, as well as some of the peak success moments. And I do feel like there has been some sort of loss. It says here, grief strips away our masks and loosens our tight hold on our separateness, where we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as part of a larger scheme, opening up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together. And that's a big challenge, because the 3 of Pentacles in your foundation says that you haven't always had those people. You haven't always had the help or the resources or the support. It says here, can you view the loss, this pain or dissonance, as a way back to source? Let your sorrow break your heart wide open. You'll never be left behind. You are loved now more than ever by Spirit, who doesn't want you to feel alone. And I feel like you are looking back on this truth now, right? You're looking back on this, and maybe not quite yet with that tower, but by springtime you certainly will. And I feel like you are mending and healing financially. Some of you have gone through, a loss, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a home. You may have filed bankruptcy. Maybe this was an illness. There's some sort of setback that I see that you've dealt with, but this is a recovery. You are getting into this financial relief. You're going to be okay. Absolutely. And even if something was fleeing from you, or if you've been riding that, midnight train or midnight rider riding into the night here, I feel like there's daylight breaking. That's that gator coming up for air. It's like if you've been in the dark for quite some time, instead of it being midnight for the last couple years, instead of it being that dark, I feel like the dawn is breaking. There's something here about the light coming in. So I like this showing up for you. Let's get a few messages from your spirit animals. And at this time, Capricorn, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale. Hold it as long as you can, and release through the mouth with a nice big sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. It could be an animal that swims deep in the sea. Perhaps your animals are wild, magical, mystical, or even majestic. This could be a pet that you have at home or by your side. Maybe even one that's crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. It could be a creature that's crossed your path recently in the great outdoors, or maybe even visited through your dreams. There is no right or wrong answer, Capricorn. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your animal in the comment section, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them below, and make sure you hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification on the first of the month. All right. Now, some of you may have been seeing a goose. I was seeing a goose here, but I feel some of you, this could be a swan. And to me, that represents peaceful abundance. So some of you are entering into, a state of a peace when it comes to your finances. Now you have here the oyster, concepts, beauty, and resilience. And look at what is in the middle of that oyster. There's the pearl. How are pearls formed? In darkness and under pressure. So it feels like whatever, is growing here in unusual, peculiar places in that springtime card, I feel like you're getting that sweet pearl. There's beauty within this energy. There's some new concepts being had with this oyster. And I feel like your resilience has grown in a way that means you can take on any challenges. Anything that comes your way, you can give it a wink and say, I trust the process. I'm stronger because of what I've gone through, but I'm not going to shut my heart off. I'm still going to be vulnerable. I will still remain open, just like this oyster is open. It's not closed off. And I feel by remaining open, this is you enjoying the sweet abundance that awaits. Next, you have the crab. This is modesty, self-sufficiency, and circumvention. Some of you felt like you were taking, 2 steps sideways even, just like the crab kind of scuttling from side to side. But it actually feels like you were in a bit of, survival mode even. Self-sufficiency, you had to take care of yourself, and maybe in the meantime you have built a little bit of a boundary or an exterior, just like that crab has that exterior, and sometimes those pinchers may have even come out. And I feel like you had to protect yourself. There's something about protection. And you can see the moon behind it. So this is the Cancerian crab, which is a moon energy here. So I feel like the moon cycles could be big for you. Possibly the full moon in January. I'm not sure what day that lands on, but I feel like there's a lot of release, a lot of letting go for you. All right, could be mid-month. Definitely a lot of release. Next, you have kangaroo. The kangaroo is maternal. She's like that empress energy. She is moving in a direction by taking a leap. And this is leaps and bounds. So again, I feel like there's something that's going to take off here quite quickly, and it's going to change everything for you. Maybe it's a loan that comes through. Maybe it's some sort of aid or relief that allows you to move in a new direction. This could be a new job opportunity that has a lot of growth potential. For some of you, you're moving in a completely opposite direction for change to happen. I feel like there is, a shift, but it's not just, a 1-step, 2-step. I feel like this is a big leap. Okay. And you're going to see evidence of the payoff definitely by spring. All right. And lastly, you have quail. The quail is about solutions, about nourishment, and refugees. So you may have even had to hide out in some way. It's like you felt like you had to hide, or even, run off like the Midnight Rider, running away from something, running into that night. And I feel like now you're receiving that nourishment. Now you can stop and take a break. There's no more running from something, or there's no more like stressing or worrying. You may feel like you finally found that silver dollar. And I feel like the solutions are here after maybe contemplating for quite some time, or, weighing something up from the past for quite some time. This is it. Okay, this is it. Between now and that springtime energy, there's a lot happening in your financial sector. Last but not least, let's get a message from your soul's truth. What does Capricorn need to know at this time? What excuses am I making right now? No more waiting. There will never be a good enough time. The time is now. That's why the Tower is here. The Tower is here saying if it's important enough to you, you will find a way. Today, make a decision and do it. Even if you don't feel ready, listen to your heart and you will be led. That's what I see you doing. You have here the Page of Cups. You have the Cup. You have the King of Cups. You have the 10 of Cups with the Sun. I mean, this all tells me here that you are listening to your heart. And by doing so, this is bringing lasting happiness and success. This is hard work, creating luck. This is a triumphant bliss here. You've come a long way on your journey, but instead of, hardening up oneself like the crab, I feel like that oyster is reminding you that staying open is the true abundance of the pearl, right? The pearl is wisdom. The pearl is longevity. The pearl is, shining that energy out there. And I feel like you've learned some valuable lessons around boundaries, knowing, how much of yourself to give without being taken advantage of. You've learned a lot over the course here of, it feels your whole life, but especially maybe in this last job of yours or this last journey that you've been on, because I feel like there's the Sun coming with the Empress. I mean, these are two of the most abundant energies you can have. And because it's crossing the 10 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, it tells me that this has been a difficult journey of loss and, financial stressors and anxieties. But you're coming back here in a big, profound way. So stay open. Listen to the heart. No more excuses. The time is now. And I definitely feel like you're making this happen. You are making this happen, and you're not giving up on your dream. Okay, it could be, again, a childhood dream. It could be something that you've wanted for quite some time. Even if it pivots, even if it means you have to take a detour, I feel like there's more bliss and abundance if you do take that next path. That is what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope this resonates. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. And do drop your power animals in the comment section below to be entered into the free reading giveaway. Also, if you have not checked out your yearly reading, 2025 yearly with a monthly forecast breakdown, I will link that playlist here in the video, and I'll also post it in the description box below. Thank you so much, Cap. Lots of love.